So the Legend of the Zelda series is truly amazing. Like from the open world exploration to puzzle solving, combat, storytelling, everything in this game and this series is just perfect. However, with all these years, this series have inspired countless developers to create their own versions of Zelda formula. Some were successful and the others, you can say, trash. So yeah, in this video I'm going to tell you 10 games that are the exact same copycats of Zelda. So let's start with the obvious one. Yes, I'm talking about Genshin Impact. Now this game is an utterly shameless copycat that doubles down on Zelda's mild anime aesthetics while adding a gacha system and online multiplayer. This game is set in a fantasy world called Teyvat, where you can explore 7 regions, each with its own culture and elemental theme. You can switch between different characters, each with their own abilities and weapons, and use them to fight enemies, solve puzzles and collect resources. This game also features glider, a cooking system and a stamina meter, all of which are directly lifted from the Breath of the Wild. Genshin Impact is not a bad game at all. It has gorgeous graphics, a catchy soundtrack, and a lot of content to keep you busy. However, it also has some drawbacks, such as repetitive quests, annoying microtransactions, and a lack of originality. If you're looking for a free-to-play alternative to the Breath of the Wild, you might enjoy Genshin Impact. But if you're looking for something more unique and innovative, you might want to look elsewhere. Next up is Oceanhorn 2: Knights of the Lost Realm. This game is a sequel to Oceanhorn 1: Monster of the Uncharted Seas, which was a blatant ripoff of Windwalker. Oceanhorn 2 is a 3D action-adventure game that follows a young knight who must stop a Dark Lord from conquering the world with an ancient weapon. Along the way, he meets 2 companions, Trin, the granddaughter of the Archimedes, and Gen, a robot armed with a caster gun. Oceanhorn 2 is clearly inspired by the Zelda series, as it features a large open world that you can explore on foot or by airship. You can also use various items and abilities to interact with the environment, such as bombs, magnets and fireballs. The game also have dungeons that require you to solve the puzzles and defeat bosses. However, Oceanhorn 2 lacks the polish and depth of the Zelda series, like Tears of the Kingdom and the Breath of the Wild. This game is plagued by technical issues such as glitches, frame drops and crashes. The combat is also clunky and unresponsive, and the puzzles are often tedious and frustrating. Oceanhorn 2 is not a terrible game, but it's definitely not on par with Tears of the Kingdom. Moving on to Ashen. Ashen is more of a Souls-like title than anything else, but it does have some elements that are reminiscent of Zelda games. Ashen is a dark fantasy game that takes place in a world where there is no sun, only a faint light from an ash-covered sky. You play as a wanderer who must find a new home for yourself and your allies in this harsh land. You can also explore various regions such as forests, caves and ruins, fight enemies using melee weapons or bows, and upgrade your equipment and skill at campsites. Ashen differs from other Souls-like games in that it has more organic and natural approach to its world design. The game also features co-op system that allows you to team up with other players or AI companions to complete quests and explore together. Ashen has some similarities with Zelda games in terms of exploration and combat mechanics. However, it has some differences in terms of difficulty level, art style and tone. Ashen is not a game for everyone, but if you're looking for a challenging atmosphere and adventure, you might want to give it a try. Next up is Hob. Hob is a 3D puzzle platformer that takes place in a mysterious world that is constantly changing. You play as a silent protagonist who wakes up in a mechanical arm after being attacked by a strange creature. You then discover that the world is in danger of being consumed by corrupting force, and you must restore it by activating ancient mechanics and unlocking new abilities. Now this story is the exact copy of Zelda games, or you can say this game is heavily influenced by Zelda games, especially in the terms of its world building, secrets, designs, puzzle solving and exploration. The game has a gorgeous art style, a soothing soundtrack and a lot of secrets to uncover. However, it has some flaws such as lack of direction, a confusing map and a buggy performance. Hob is a game that has a lot of potential but also have a lot of problems. Moving on to Hyper Light Drifter. Hyper Light Drifter is a 2D action RPG that pays homage to the 16-bit era of gaming. This game is set in a post-apocalyptic world where you play as a drifter who is searching for a cure for his mysterious illness. You can explore 4 regions, each with its own theme and boss, fight enemies using a sword, a gun and a dash, and collect items upgrades to enhance your abilities. Hyper Light Drifter is inspired by Zelda games, especially in the terms of its combat, exploration and storytelling. The game has a stunning pixel art style, a haunting soundtrack and a lot of hidden lore. However, it has also some challenges such as high difficulty level, a cryptic narrative and a lack of dialogue. Hyper Light Drifter Drifter is a game that will test your skills and patience, but also reward you with memorable experience. Next up is Death's Door. Death's Door is a 3D action adventure game that mixes elements of Zelda, Kingdom Hearts, and some other games. The game is set in a world where crows are in charge of reaping the souls of the dead. You play as an adorable crow who works as a reaper but loses his assigned soul to a thief. You then have to chase the thief to a realm where nothing dies and uncover the secrets behind it. Death's Door is a charming game that has a lot of humor and personality. The game features a beautiful art style, a catchy soundtrack, and a lot of content to explore. The game also has satisfying combat system, a variety of weapons and abilities, and some clever puzzles and bosses. Death's Door is a game that feels like a love letter to Zelda games, but also it has its own identity and style. And our final game on this list is Sable. Sable is a 3D exploration game that allows you to follow the coming of age journey of a young girl named Sable in a vast desert area. You can explore the world on your hoverbike, meet different cultures and characters, and complete various tasks and quests. Sable is influenced by Zelda games, especially in the terms of open world exploration, art style, and music. The game has a stunning cel-shaded graphics, a soothing soundtrack composed by Japanese Breakfast, and a lot of atmosphere and emotion. The game also have a non-linear narrative that lets you choose your own path and pace, a customizable hoverbike that you can upgrade and decorate, and some puzzles and platforming sections to slice things up. Sable is a game that will make you feel like you're in a dream, but also make you curious and adventurous. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please like and subscribe, and also tell me which more games do you think are the direct copy of Zelda series. Comment down below and I will make the list on those games too. And now I will see you in the next one.